You got one common opponent this year, South Carolina, for both teams. What did you take away from North Carolina's game and South Carolina that you guys can use going forward in this game?
Nothing. Hope that their quarterback throws it to us a bunch. Their quarterback had a bad night. Otherwise, it's not a close game. That's just the reality of it. And number 12 for them would probably tell you that. They didn't really stop them. They just didn't. North Carolina didn't finish their drives. They turned the ball over a ton. But we actually had 5 common opponents. And so, we beat South Carolina. They lost South Carolina. That means jack. That don't mean nothing. But I think you can look at the 5 common opponents and maybe get a little bit of a feel for personnel. I think you can get a little knowledge there. And I try to always do that with everybody we play, just to kind of get a little bit, because games can, things happen in the game that can skew scores and things like that. But just, when I watch the game, how they match up personnel-wise and schematically what's going on. And, between South Carolina, Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, Miami, and there's one other one I'm forgetting. NC State. Yeah, NC State just played. We had 5 common opponents. So I think that just gives you a little bit of a feel for, just because we've played those people and their personnel, having been there and experienced that, so you can gauge a little bit. And those 5 common opponents, all that's done is just make my respect for North Carolina go even higher. I knew they were a good team, but really breaking all those games down and watching them, I've got a lot of respect for what they've done. I'm telling you, this is a really good football team. Play with anybody. Sorry.
Coach, does playing in an ACC championship game feel different? I know you guys don't like to worry about the outside noise and all the distractions, but does it feel different? You played in one a few years ago. Does it feel different when you get on the field, stadium starts filling up, and knowing that everything that we want to accomplish comes down?
Oh man, yeah, this is championship football. It truly is the biggest game of the year. Say that every week. It really is. It is really the biggest game of the year, and it's it. We don't practice. We have no practice Monday, so it's this is it. We've played 48 quarters, and we're flawless. We're undefeated, and you're down to 4 quarters. The same things that won those 12 will win this one. You dance with who brung you. You're going to do what you do. They're going to do what they do, and the best team's going to win, or at least the best team that day is going to win. That's just the way it is. You're talking about a 12-0 team and an 11-1 team. You better believe when you roll up to Charlotte, it's a championship environment. You walk out into that stadium. It is awesome. Just awesome. And this is, our 3rd time in the ACC championship game in my 7 years, and man, it's special. It's a privilege to be a part of it. It really is. This time last year, I'm not happy that we're not practicing, and I'm not having a press conference on Tuesday. Again, I'm out and about doing home visits, and that's what all other coaches are doing. But there's 2 teams still practicing, and to be one of those 2 teams, yeah. It's like practice yesterday. Everybody knows. There's the finish line. It's right there. Put your best foot forward, embrace it, and let's go play the game.
Over the course of the last 12 games, you've rotated in reserve offensive linemen, different spots.
Yeah.
Almost like a basketball roster. Do you shorten the rotation, so to speak, as you go into?
No, because they're playing well. That's why they're playing. Taylor Hearn played great. Maverick has played outstanding for us. Crowder been a pretty good player for us. He came in and road graded that dude on the zone down on the goal line for that one last touchdown there. And then we're very confident in Frew Morgan. That's why they're playing. They deserve to play. Norton, he's played a lot of football. We got all the confidence in the world. Now all those guys. I think we're going to be better next year in the offensive line.
Top 2, and we've heard about it for 2 years, about this offensive line building towards something, but is validation of 5 guys getting all ACC mention?
That's incredible. Never happened here. It's never happened. I don't think any of y'all saw that coming, did you? But I think I said in August, I think I told y'all when the season's over, our offensive line is going to be the y'all. I think maybe been Philpott. You asked me year before. I said the DBs would be the most improved. Our offensive line is, I mean, it's just incredible. And with a true freshman left tackle, I mean, he ain't even shaving yet. I mean, you get him and Frew Morgan another year. I mean, I really believe. I mean that. You know, the so-called we're a year away, right? We're still a year away from being a good team. That was the rhetoric this summer. I'm glad our team didn't buy into that. You know, I felt like we could be pretty good this year, and based on what I saw in practice every day and what I saw in the locker room and how these guys train and how much they cared, you know, this offensive line is going to be really good for a while, and I'm really excited about that. I mean, Taylor Hearn, he's going to be incredible. Falcinelli, Crowder's just a sophomore. Maverick's just a sophomore. Frew Morgan. I mean, this is a really, really, you know, good group that's just going to get better, no doubt about it.
As someone from Alabama and you went to Alabama, you know what that community pride is for a guy like Shaq Lawson who's from here. What does that do for a young man to play and have success for his community?
Well, I think it's special. I mean, I think everybody takes pride in you know, being able to go back home and feel good about, you know, where you came from and what you've accomplished. And I think the communities that these guys come from, you know, they all take pride in these guys. And when they see them go off and graduate and have success and represent themselves the right way, and the communities see the growth. I mean, this community's watched Shaq Lawson since, you know, Bullock Field over here at the Central Rec, where my kids have grown up playing. I mean, Shaq Lawson is it's incredible, the maturation and development that he's gone through throughout his years. You know, Shaq was a basketball player. We weren't even sure we were going to recruit him. You know, he was a guy not really committed to football. He liked football and he was good at football, but he was a basketball player. He was going to the NBA. And then I think he realized that he wasn't a point guard. And so he got a little more serious about, you know, football practice. And then he, you know, developed nicely. He was a great athlete. I love Shaq. I mean, Shaq is he's one of the easiest guys I've ever coached because he is just low maintenance, blue collar, loves to play, loves to practice. He's a smart player. He's got great instincts for the game. And, man, he's just tough. I mean, I love Shaq, and it's great. It's great for this community. But it's not just Shaq. I mean, it's amazing, the young men that have come out of, you know, Clemson Central 6 Mile area that have come to Clemson or gone other places. I mean, it's incredible, you know, what these guys have been able to do. Proud of Shaq. He's had a great year, and I think he leads the nation now in tackles for loss. That was my challenge to him last week. He was behind. He was trailing. He was second by half a tackle. How do you get a half a tackle? But anyway, so two guys at the same time. But I told him in the game, I said, when the game's over, you need to be leading the nation. I'm going to be disappointed if you're not. And, you know, he loves stuff like that because, you know, he likes challenges. So he's leading the nation. So but he needs to be leading the nation after this one too. So we got one more week to go.
What do you see from Elijah Hood on film, and how much of a difference has he made for them this year?
Tough, strong, breaks a ton of tackles, fast, can run away from you. He's the kind of the combination of really everything. He's got the speed, got power, got good vision. He's an incredible effort guy, and he was that way in high school. I mean, big time motor. Just a relentless runner, you know, kind of runs like Wayne Gallman as far as that mentality. Different styles, different bodies, but that's the mentality that he plays with. Really good football player and a great person. He's one of those guys I really enjoyed getting to know in the recruiting process.
You've been sitting at the top of the heap now for several weeks. Has your perspective changed? Has anything changed? And if not, how have you been able to continue to insulate yourself and isolate the team?
Has my perspective changed? No. Like I said, I was voting us number one 3 weeks before anybody else. So I've thought, we were the best team for a long time, or at least deserving to be considered. And perspective has not changed at all. I mean, we just do what we do. I mean, we're so dialed in to, it's just hard to keep up with what day it is because we're just so dialed into what we do, our routine. And, the leadership of our team and has helped us. I mean, at the end of the day, there's 168 hours in the week, and we only get them for 20, and the world has them for 148. And I just think that they've bought into what we do and how we do it. And then, again, the leadership has been amazing. But my perspective, no. I mean, I've tried to be purposeful in making sure that these guys are having some fun and making sure that these guys are enjoying the moment because, I think it'd be very, very sad to, have a season like we've had and not enjoy the journey. I think that would be really sad, because I've been there. I've won the national championship, and you win the national championship, and it fades real quick. That moment, it's gone. Oh, okay, well, that's it. There's a whole lot more to life than a football game. And so it's the relationships, the brotherhood, the struggle, the grind, the journey that you went on. That's what I try to make sure that these guys are enjoying and that they're mindful of it. Because, a moment fades, pretty quick. But man, what you're going to remember the most is that journey along the way. And so I've been very purposeful in that. But other than that, it's just, we just come in every week and we start over. We start over. And it's a season of its own, biggest game of the year, another bite out of the elephant.